Now I am explaining the third problem under the critical path method. So here you are given a problem. Find the critical path and the project duration from the following. So you are given the jobs and the duration. So let us now draw a network diagram. So here we can find out critical path under three methods. One is trial and error method. Second one is the event method, and third one is the float computation of the floats. Now let us see how we can draw a network diagram here. So here this is a problem. So let us draw a network diagram. So 1 to 2, then 1 to 3. So from 1 to 2 it is 7, 1 to 3 it is 8, then 1 to 4 it is 6, right? So 2 to 6 you have 5 days, then 3 to 4 0. So whenever you have this thing, the duration to be 0, we draw the dummy line, so 0. Then from 3 to 4, 3 to 5, right? So 3 to 5 we have 4 days. Then 3 to 6, so 3 to 6 it is 3. Then 4 to 6 you have 3. 5 to 6 you have 5. 5 to 7 you have 16. Then 6 to 7 you have 10. So this is how the diagram is drawn, network diagram. So we have to now calculate under the trial and error method. So this is a network diagram we have, right? So now let us calculate all the possible paths. So I will run through all the possible paths here. So one is 1 to 2, 2 to 6, and 6 to 7. 1 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 7. Then 1 to 3, 3 to 4. Then 4 to 6, 6 to 7. 1 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 7. 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 6, and 6 to 7. So under the trial and error method, what we do is we have to list down all the possible paths and we have to calculate the duration. So here you find the duration is already calculated here. Out of all the possible paths that we have in the network diagram, 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7 is having the maximum duration, and this is called the critical path. So when you arrive at the critical path, you have to indicate that with the double lines. So here the critical path is 1 to 3, 3 to 5, and 5 to 7, right? So what we do is 1 to 3, 3 to 5, then 5 to 7. So this is a critical path. This is the longest duration that we have in the network diagram. So here the duration is 28 days. So after having worked out the trial and error method, we have to now calculate the second method, that is event time method. So I have already drawn a network diagram. So for the event time method, so what we got to do is we have to calculate the earliest start and the latest finish time. So I'm indicating it with a rectangular box and a triangle here. So for each of the nodes that we have, so we always start with the 0. So it's very important that you note down the durations for all the activities. So now let us start with 0. So in the forward pass we go on adding up the duration of the subsequent activities. So here 0 plus 7. So there is only one arrow which is directed towards 2. So there is no comparison at all. So I am making a note of 7 here. So coming down to this particular node, I have to complete this. Only then I can go here. So 0 plus 8, only 1 is directed towards this particular node. So for this we have only 1, so I'm making a note of 8 here. So coming down to this particular node, we have two arrows directed towards 4. So what I'm going to do is I have to add 8 plus 0, which adds up to 8, and 0 plus 6. So if I compare these two, the largest value is 8, so I'm making a note of this. So coming down to this particular node, so 8 plus 4 is 12. So only one arrow is directed towards this, so I'm writing 12 here. So coming down to this particular node, there are three activities which are directed here, 1, 2, 3 and 4, sorry. So 7 plus 5 is 12, 8 plus 3 is 11, then 8 plus 3 is again 11, so 12 plus 5 it is 17. So if you compare the four values, 17 is the largest, so I'm making a note here. So coming down to this particular earliest start time, so there are two arrows which are directed towards this. So 17 plus 10, 27, then 12 plus 16 it is 28. So if you compare these two, the largest value is 28. So in the backward passes, what we do is we have to first make a note and we go on subsequently deducting. Okay, so if I come here to this particular backward pass, it is initialized to 28 because the last here forward pass is 28. I have to make a note of the same here. So coming down to this particular cell, there are two arrows which are burst events are there, so I have to complete this and then again come back here. So I'll just keep it on hold. So 28 minus 10 is 18. So this is the only value that is written here, so no comparison at all. So after having worked out this, we can come here. So 28 minus 16 is 12. 18 minus 5 is 13. So if you compare these two, the smallest value is 12. I am making a note here. So if you observe here, there are three activities which have three burst events. So what I've got to do is I have to complete this and come here. So I will go here now. So 17 minus 5 is 12. Sorry, 18 minus 5 is 13. So that is the only value. So I'm making a note here. So coming down to this particular thing. So here 18 minus 3, it is 15. Only one value is there. So I'm comparing, no comparison at all. So coming down to this particular cell now. This particular node. Let us calculate the backward pass. 12 minus 4 is 8. 18 minus 5 is 15. Right, 15 minus 0 is again 15. So if you compare the values, 8 is the smallest. So coming down to this particular backward pass, what I've got to do is I have to take up 3. So 3 burst events have there. So 13 minus 7 is 6 comma, then 8 minus 8 is 0, then 15 minus 6 is 9. So smallest is 0. So always is that, starting backward and forward passes are initialized with 0, and you tend to have coincidence, right? So if you now we will have to take the slack, which is nothing but the difference between the forward and the backward pass. So 0 minus 0 is 0. Here 7 minus 13 is 6, 8 minus 8 is 0, 17 minus 8 is 1, 0 and 0. So this is how we calculate the event time method. Next is the computation of the. So for the computation of the floats, we need to have this diagram, slacks and everything. So these two things are given very much in the diagram, problem itself. Now we have to work out the 9 columns, 1, 2, 3, up to 9. So these are all the columns which we need to draw. Now let us work out the each one. So now first is 1 to 2. We have to take the earliest start time of the tail event. So earliest start time here is 0. Next is earliest finish time, so which is nothing but es plus t. This is 7. Then S is equal to LF minus D. So here before I calculate this, I have to finish this. So this is the latest finish time of the head events. So here 1 to 2 if you take up 13 is the latest finish time. So it is 13 minus 7 is 6. So LS minus ES. So I have to take the difference between this and this. So 6 minus 0 is equal to 6. Then the latest finish time, total float. So this is 6 minus head event slack. So if you take up the 1 to 2, head event slack is 6 here. So 6 minus 6 is 0. Then the total float is equal to free float minus the tail event slack. So tail event slack is 0. right? So 0 minus 0. So I will calculate the same for 1 2 3. Now here we have 1 2 3, right? So 1 2 3, earliest start time of the tail events is 0. So this will be so for wherever you have 1, right? So next is earliest finish time, which is es plus t. So is it not? Next is lf minus t. Before that we have to calculate the sixth column. So sixth column is from 1 to 3. So 1 to 3, the lf is latest finish time of the head event. So here if you take up this, it is 8, is it not? So here what we do is we take 8. So now lf minus d, so L8 minus 8 is 0. Then here ls minus es, so ls minus es, 0 minus 0 is 0. So free float is tail tf, that is 0 minus the head event slack. So from 1 to 3, from 1 to 3 the head event slack is 0 here, so I am making a note of that, 0. Then it is taken up as 0 minus the tail event slack. So 1 to 3, the tail event slack, that is this value is 0. So 0. So this is how we calculate for rest of the other columns.